Good afternoon, fellow YouTubers. I'm out on Woody Mountain Road, and it is woody. There's just trees everywhere, as you just saw in that shot looking down the road. So I'm going out for a little target practice. So I've lived up here now for 3 months in Flagstaff, Arizona, and I've wanted to do target practice with my 38 the whole time, because that's all I had up here with me. And I sold my Beretta 9mm. It's a little bit older, but when I inherited it, it was brand new. It had never been fired. It just sat for years in a drawer in the box. And I sold that to my ex-wife for $300, and when I sold it to her, she said, I'll sell it back to you if you want to, if you change your mind at a later date. So I went home for Thanksgiving to her house to be with my kids and all, and I bought that gun back. So I'm going out for target practice with my 9mm. I just cleaned both of them yesterday. I'm probably going to clean both of them again when I get home, but I'm excited. And I think it's a really, really good time for anyone and everyone to, if you don't mind, I'm gonna put my glasses back on. I think it's a good time for everyone to just be familiar with whatever gun is their go-to, you know, for home protection, self-protection. And for the first time ever, legally, I carried open carried yesterday. I've never done that legally. I've done it illegally, but I've never done it legally. So right now we got a few big trucks coming by. It's not big, you know, just full size. Really beautiful 4-wheel drive. That's the second one was the Jeep. That's 4 doors with the truck bed. It's a little bit too much of a vehicle for me, but man, you know, if I still had my kids living with me or something, that'd be great. Because go mountain biking, just throw the bikes in the back. You got 4 doors, 4 comfortable seats. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Because, you know, just so much of not only the political channels I watch, but so much of the religious channels that I watch on YouTube all talk about, you know, there's just so much different stuff going on. Scary, threatening stuff. You know, everything from food shortages, the railroad. Well, I guess the railroad problem has been bypassed now. But still, just so many problems going on that, well, if you're coming from a secular point of view, it's prepping, and it's just good to be prepared for whatever might come next. If you're coming from more of a religious point of view, it's end times. You know, the world is just gone too bonkers, and is too cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for it not to be anything else less than the end times. Now, am I saying that we got, you know, 2 or 3 months? No. The end times we've been in ever since Jesus Christ left us, you know, the ascension into heaven. But I think we've got about maybe 6 years, because think about it. There's a lot of things to think about. One, the Bible says that when the Antichrist comes on the scene, he will bring peace and order to the entire world, and basically everything will have, you know, everyone will have good situation, you know, so money will be made. Everyone's going to have some money in their pocket. All the wars and strifes going to stop. So he's going to have that period of time, and then he's going to have 7 years to dominate, to be basically king of the world before everything's done. But 3.5 years into that 7 years where he is the top dog ruling everything, 3.5 years is when he's gonna step into the Temple Mount, which hasn't been built yet, but they have blueprints for it and everything. That is underway. They're going to start building soon. So you see, that's going to take at least, I would say, a few years to build. So, but he's going to show up in that temple, on the Temple Mount. It's going to be a Jewish temple, and he's going to declare himself God incarnate. Not the second coming, but just God. Worship me. And you have to bend your knee towards him, or you're going to be killed. And that's also when if you don't have the mark of the beast, you won't be able to buy or sell anything. But so you've got 3.5 years before that happens, and you've got at least 2 years on the other end. So I'm thinking a minimum of 6 years, but that's just my take. Everyone's going to have their own take, right? So I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going off topic. Mainly, I just wanted to say it's a good time to get familiar with any weaponry you might have. I mean, think about how much time warriors would practice their sword and shield, their spear. Think about how much time police officers practice with their baton, their guns. Well, I was going to say their tasers, but we've seen so many mistakes with taser, and they pull a gun and shoot the person. So maybe they need more times. But what happens with all of that practice is it becomes, it goes on autopilot. A lot of my old, Simply Biking subscribers really understand that from motorcycles, because motorcycles so fun because all of the mechanics, think about it, you've got controls on every limb, so much different than a car. So not only are you steering with your hands, but you've also got the clutch and the front brake, or the other way around, clutch, front brake. And the bottom foot you have shifting up and down, and then on the right foot you got brake. So it's so nice for that to be autopilot, so you can just yell out to a friend or a pretty girl, or just enjoy the nature and not have to worry about all those mechanics. Same thing's going to take place with practicing with a weapon, right? The more and more you practice, the more and more it just becomes automatic. Think about the gunslingers from the Old West. They could literally pull their gun out of their pocket, aim and fire with less than a second. It would take them less than a second to do that, to see the threat, for the brain to process the threat and to make a decision, and then for that hand to start to move to the gun, to pull it out properly, put the finger on the trigger, put the gun at the person or whatever, and aim and fire all under 1 second. Only comes with practice, right? If I were to try to do that, it'd probably take me 4 or 5 seconds, and I'd probably shoot myself in the foot. But I'm very familiar with my 38. I've done more target practice with that gun than any other gun. And that's saying a lot, because when I was a kid, we would do skeet shooting all the time, several times every year, and then dove hunting every September. So, I was very, very familiar with my 12 gauge shotgun. But so after this 38, my 9mm, I'm not so, because the ammunition's a little bit more expensive and I haven't had it as long, so I'm not as familiar with that. But I got to admit, some of my familiarity must have gone by the wayside, because it's been years, probably 2 years since I've done target practice with my 38 Special. So, gosh, I've sold almost all my guns. I only have these 2 handguns now. I wish I didn't sell that 25 automatic, semi-automatic, because that was the best gun for concealed carry or open carry. It was so tiny, and it held a good 9 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. So it was so cool. It was a Mustang 25 automatic. You could pop the chamber up, so after you push the magazine in, you had this little button that could pop the chamber up, and you could load one more bullet, so you could fully load that magazine with as many as possible. It could get 10 if you push down hard enough, but then you could get that last one too. And so when you wanted to aim and fire in an emergency situation, you didn't even have to waste time cocking it back. There was already a bullet in the chamber. And I shouldn't have sold that. What did I get for it? I think I got 100 and change, like 125, 130. And that thing was worth much more to me than that. But, you can always go buy a new one. But I'm just sitting here wasting gas, and I'm just kind of rambling on. But yeah, I think it's a great idea to just go out, enjoy yourself, have a go with a friend. Be safe, obviously. You have to do things slowly and think through everything, because it would just be awful to, put a bullet in your foot or in your groin, much worse, or anywhere for that matter. God bless. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end with all of my rambling on this, that, and going all over the place, I really appreciate you. It's Friday! Friday! I remember that. Anyways, God bless. Love you guys. Take care.